Hi, I'm Ash Walmsley. I'm the head of countryside here at Ashdown Forest. We're here today to talk about burning, but more importantly, controlled burning. If you've been a regular and you're a long time visitor to Ashdown Forest, you'll probably know that we used to do these quite a few years ago. We've not really done one since 2019, but this winter we're hopeful that we can undertake another controlled burn. The area selected is just behind us, an area going up towards Camp Hill Clump. We've cut an area the size of half a hectare, and then to the north, we're going to burn another half a hectare. And then from that, we're going to do a comparison on how the vegetation responds. Okay, so there are many different types, management techniques that we use on the forest to maintain this wonderful and open habitat. We can use volunteer manpower, we can use mechanical, and there's the more traditional approach of controlled burns. Each methodology has its positives and its negatives. And what we're trying to ascertain out of this particular trial is exactly what happens to the vegetation as it returns compared to a mechanical to a controlled burn. Now, in an ideal situation, we would utilize all the methodologies, because actually what that's going to do is create a mosaic of different habitat types and different habitat structures, which is far better for biodiversity. If we did everything the same way and everything grew back at the same rate, that would have less value because it would only benefit a set amount of wildlife, whereas having that mosaic would dramatically increase the biodiversity and wildlife richness on the forest. Ashdown Forest is a lowland heathland. What that means is it's a habitat that is made up of dwarf shrub species, the heathers, the dwarf gorse. And what these plants really need is nutrient poor soils. So when we get an area like this and we've got a lot of dead vegetation material, all this rotting into the ground actually increases the nutrient levels, which then encourages the more dominant species and can then outcompete the dwarf shrubs. A fire will remove all of this leaf litter, and so therefore is removing a lot of that nutrient levels that could go into the soil, favouring then those dwarf shrub species. We're undertaking it at this time of year for three main reasons. One, it's legal. You can only undertake a lowland heathland burn between the 1st of November and the 31st of March. Two is because February is meant to be the month where the worst of the winter weather is behind us and it gives us more windows of opportunity. And three, because it minimises the risk to wildlife. So breeding reptiles, breeding birds haven't started that process yet, and therefore there's less risk to them. Okay, so on the day itself, we're going to have to obviously close the area off because we can't have visitors and members of the public coming into that active area. So we'll be closing both of these rides off all the way up to Camp Hill Clump and all the way down to about Roman Road car park. We'll have barrier tape, we'll have signs, we'll have people out there to inform people of what is going on. We'll undertake this during the daylight hours, so we have to wait for the ideal weather forecast. So it can't be too dry, it can't be too wet, it can't be too windy, it can't be a still day. So we really need that really good weather conditions to go ahead. So because we're waiting for those weather conditions to be right, we can't obviously give a precise date on when we're going to undertake these, because we're having to adapt to the weather conditions. But like I say, we'll be closing those rides off, we'll be barriering them off, and we'll go for it on that day. So after the burn, we'll be doing continued surveying to work out what's going on. And this will take a number of years. We won't be able to see the results straight away. We're going to have to wait several years to actually fully understand the true benefits and how the site has reacted and whether it's reacted the way we want. We'd just like to thank you all for your patience. We understand that this can be quite a dramatic management technique, and the site will look quite dramatic and very scorched afterwards, but the habitat will recover and it will recover quickly.